right, so I wanted to talk about some of the top stories from the combine this past week or whatever, and how it sort of relates to the Jets and how top performers and you know different rumors and things like that have come out, and how it could affect the Jets. So to start off on a low note, unfortunately, the center Billy Price from Ohio State, projected to go in the first round, tears his pec during the bench press. Really upsetting. He looks like an absolute freak. He could still go in the first round, but having that injury now is going to cause a little bit of doubt in some teams. He should be ready for camp, so I don't know how much it'll really affect it. Maybe he's there at 37 when the Jets pick in the second round. That could be a really cool move. I don't think it's a good idea for the Jets to go into free agency or to go into the draft needing a center. I think we should look into getting Ryan Jensen or Weston Richburg, one of those two guys, just because you don't want to have to fill a position through the draft, especially when there's a bunch of other teams that want good offensive linemen. But that's kind of rough shape for Billy Price there. Now on a high note, Shaq Griffin, the linebacker from UCF, runs a 4.38 40-yard dash. For those of you that don't know, Shaq Griffin had his left hand amputated at 4 years old. So this guy has been balling since then. And the fact that he was able to, wow the scouts like that, it just is a testament to how hard this man has worked. Because of what he's done, he has put himself into the conversation for a mid to late round pick, maybe that 4th to 7th round. You take a flyer on a guy, maybe he's a good special teams player or whatever. To put that in perspective, that 4.38 time, that's faster than Von Miller, Russell Wilson, and J.J. Watt. So the dude's got wheels, but good for him. Next, I want to talk about Bradley Chubb, the outstanding pass rusher from NC State. All his metrics look really good. He looks like he's probably solidified himself as, a top 5 pick. He may be there for the Jets if we were to fill our quarterback need in free agency. So really cool. I guess I should probably talk about the most outrageous, development from the combine, and that's Saquon Barkley. The dude is a freak. I saw this tweet come out the other day. It goes, so based on Saquon's stats at the combine, he's stronger than Joe Thomas, he's quicker than Deshaun Jackson, he's faster than Devin Hester, and he jumps higher than Julio Jones. This man is going to go top 5. There's no way he's going to be there for the Jets at 6. He could go number 1 overall, really. With the Browns holding that 4th pick, if they like any of the top 3 quarterbacks, you could definitely see him go 1. You could see him go 2 to the Giants. If they decide to go all in on with Eli and then, sort of wait and see how Webb develops, I think that's a really interesting route they could take. He could go 3 to the Colts with Luck coming back. That's a huge weapon. Just absolutely crazy metrics in regards to Saquon. All that being said, you do have to take all this with a little grain of salt. The combine should really just be to flag individuals that you may have missed on a national stage. So guys that are from smaller schools that put up huge numbers, you go back and you look at their tape and see if their 40 time matches up with their game speed, because it doesn't necessarily always sync up, and you want to make sure that's there. You don't want to have, Jets fans know, we've been burned by those workout warriors, specifically Vernon Golston. That just hurts so badly. I was hoping he would be so good, and it just didn't work out that way. All right, anyway. The other fun thing about the combine is the Wonderlic scores. So the Wonderlic Test, if you don't know, it's a 50-question basic knowledge test that's timed. You have 12 minutes to take it and answer as many questions as you can. The there's obviously you could go one of two ways. It doesn't necessarily show how smart you are as a quarterback, your decision-making skills, but it's supposed to, gauge your speed, I guess, and wit and whatever. But so in the past, we've seen some terrible scores. I mean, I'll link the Wonderlic Test down below. You guys could take that. Let me know what you guys get. As a comparison, I got a 35 out of 50. I had 9 questions left. I think the average score is about a 55, so I got a 70. So woo. It's about the same score as Aaron Rodgers. So I guess I can hang that on my hat. Hang my hat on that. But that said, you get Vince Young, who throws up a 6, and a little alarming. So don't be as dumb as Vince Young. I'll show you right here. This is all the starting quarterbacks as of October 2015. So unfortunately, Big Ben's not on there, but that's their scores. So you can see how you do with that, as well as the average score for your relative position or your relative job occupation. So see how you match up with your peers potentially. Are you smarter? Are you worse? Let me know down below. It's pretty interesting stuff. Again, the Wonderlic score doesn't necessarily prove everything. Dan Marino got a 15. So, you can get the best quarterback, and he doesn't necessarily have to have the highest Wonderlic scores. I do find it funny that there are odds based on, to bet on to see who would get the highest Wonderlic score for this year. The top option would be Josh Rosen. Obviously, he's from UCLA. He's a smart guy, so it seems to reason that he would be the likely favorite to get the highest score. So if I'm a betting man, I wouldn't put my money on him because you're not going to get a high return on him, but whatever. So one of the rumors that came out of the combine this past weekend is that the Jets feel that Kirk Cousins is likely going to the Minnesota Vikings, and that's it. The last few days it sort of seemed that's exactly what's going to happen. They're letting all 3 of their quarterbacks hit the open market. I think they do have the contingency plan that if Kirk does decide to leave, they could sign any one of those guys. But obviously they have a lot of cap space. They're going to be able to offer a good deal, enough to make Cousins pick them. They're obviously a better team than the Jets. I think they're a better team than the Broncos too. They have a younger core. But it's been reported that Cousins might take a 3-year, $90 million deal. That's interesting to me because it tells me 2 things. It tells me that he definitely wants to cash in again. He's 29 right now. By the end of that contract, he'll be 32. So he'll be able to cash in on another big deal. It also allows him to jump teams in the event that the Vikings go downhill. It's not a contract I'd want the Jets to look to sign. The value in the Jets signing Cousins is that 5 or 6 year deal where you really get a lower cap hit at the end of years 4, 5, 6. So on a 3-year deal, not a contract I want the Jets to go near, and we turn our attention to the draft. So along with the combine and drafting quarterbacks and whatnot, we turn our attention to Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson. Those are the 5 big quarterbacks that everyone's talking about. How did they do at the combine this past week or whatever? Well, a few things that stood out. Sam Darnold didn't throw. Lamar Jackson didn't run the 40. He didn't even words. He didn't even compete, in any of the skills. He only threw, and based on his low completion percentage in college and his accuracy questions, I think that was probably a good idea. Everyone knows he's fast and he can evade defenders. There's no reason to put that on tape. Focus on what you need to focus on. Josh Allen put on a show. The dude is huge. He had massive metrics when it comes to testing. Josh Rosen looks like the complete package. He definitely looked like the sharpest thrower, the most natural thrower, probably the most ready quarterback of the bunch. And then you get Baker Mayfield, overall the most accurate. You see his game tape. It's obvious he's well above everyone as far as an accuracy standpoint goes, and he showed that at the combine. Again, they're testing in basically underwear and a t-shirt, so when they get pads on, a little different. You're not necessarily going to run the fastest 40 time. You're not necessarily going to maybe throw as far with pads on. So things to sort of take in stride. That said, lots of interesting stuff. How do these quarterbacks stack up against previous years? Here's some of their metrics as far as, the last two quarterback classes go with, Watson, Mahomes, Goff, Wentz, and Trubisky. So some interesting similarities. I think you see a lot of similarities between Carson Wentz and Josh Allen. Obviously the scary part is his level of competition and, the quality of players on his actual team. Anyway, there's a lot of options the Jets will have at 6. They could trade up. They could stay at 6. I do want to do, a draft analysis of each of these quarterbacks one by one. If you guys want to let me know which one you want to hear first, I'll do that. I am going away at the end of this week. I'm going out to Tahoe to go, skiing and snowboarding. So may not have a video till after free agency starts. So I apologize for that. But some of the key guys that I want us to target, obviously the cornerback position. I'd like to see us hit, Malcolm Butler, EJ Gaines, Breland from the Redskins are all up there for me as far as a want, along with, the linemen. I think Norwell, Jensen would be like my two favorite, especially if we don't get Cousins. We have so much money that we could really, shore up a lot of other areas. That way, trading up in the draft, if we want to get up to that number 3 pick, isn't going to hurt as bad. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, go Jets.